The New York Giants pulled a fast one on the entire NFL. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul, and this is Big Apple Sports. Take just a quick second before we get started. Hit the subscribe button. I got a lot more Giants content coming. You don't want to miss out. So, Giants preseason so far has been amazing if you're a Giants fan. We are seeing so many young players balling out. The biggest thing is Jackson Dart is absolutely balling out. I could make this video all about how the Giants pulled a fast one by getting Jackson Dart so late, but you already know that. I'm trying to give you some fresh information, and you might even know, I'm sure if you've watched the Giants preseason games, you guys have seen these names as well, but I think they have a future with the Giants, and years from now, people are going to regret letting the Giants get both of these guys. So let's start with Dante Miller and Beaux Collins. Dante Miller, I would say, is probably the lesser of the two in terms of likeliness to be a future stud. So I'm going to dive a little more into Beaux Collins' backstory in just a second, but just quick plug here for Dante Miller. The dude is balled out. He had, I think, 7 catches for 80 yards against the Bills. He was the offensive player in the game. He's gotten some extra opportunity, I think, with Scadaboo being injured in camp. And he's shown, especially as a pass catcher, they've just been dumping it to him over and over, and he's just turning it into yards. And I think, this is his second season. He was mostly on the practice squad last year, but I think he's going to make the roster. The one thing that you need to see from him, because he's not about to overtake Tyrone Tracy or Devin Singletary, and I think the plan is for Scadaboo even to be over him and get more touches. But if you're going to be a number 4 running back, you have to be a good special teams player. He had a downed punt at the 5-yard line and got a tackle in their last game. And I think he's showing he can be a complete player. And I'd love to see him get some reps in real games, especially as a third down running back. He has shown he has good hands, and you can get him the ball, and he's going to take off for a good chunk of yardage. So I've been super impressed with him. But then Beaux Collins is the big one that just has people buzzing in New York. Obviously, everybody saw the moonshot from Russell Wilson to Beaux Collins. I think it traveled 60 air yards. He was wide open, just about took it to the house, got stopped a little bit short. And then, you just heard his name a bunch in that Jets game. And diving a little more into his college numbers, nothing super impressive. He had the 5 touchdown season as a sophomore at Clemson, never had more than 510 yards receiving. But if you just look at his size, his speed, 6'3", 201 is big time size. He ran a 4.52 40 with a 38-inch vert. If you are 6'3" and you can jump 38 inches, gosh, you're pulling them down over everybody. And so I was just kind of diving into why was he undrafted? I know that those numbers don't blow anyone away, but when you have such a good combination of size and speed and just raw athleticism, what can cause you to drop like that? And it sounds like he had a couple of injuries that forced him to miss some times, and that NFL offenses were a little weary of that and struggled a little bit to gain separation. But it could be because he was playing through injury constantly and at Clemson and Notre Dame. And then it sounds like he also really struggled with drops. And I think you've seen with receivers before, drops is something that you can improve on. Most people aren't improving their 40. You're not going to add height to yourself unless you get that surgery where you break your legs. But I've never heard of any NFL player doing that. They probably would lose some speed doing that as well. But you can get better with your hands. I remember Jamar Chase's rookie season. all the talk was he's just dropping everything in training camp. The dude can't catch, and now he's the best receiver in the NFL, except for Malik Neighbors this year. I might be a little biased, maybe not. But like that's something I think will be improved on. I haven't heard anything about drops in training camp or I haven't seen it in any of these preseason games. The dude looks like the Giants may have stolen him. And I know it was talked about quite a bit in that preseason game against the Jets. Like Victor Cruz kind of came on this way. Like he was undrafted and nobody had heard of him, and then all of a sudden he tore it up in the preseason, and next thing you know, he's an all-time great Giants receiver. So I'd love to see that from Beaux Collins. I feel like he has kind of looked like what we all wanted Jalen Hyatt to be. And obviously it's a bummer Jalen Hyatt hasn't really turned out. Maybe he still will. He's got time. But I think Beaux Collins can take that role of guy who can take the top off the defense. And I've been super excited about him. But then the question becomes, okay, so you got Beaux Collins and you got Dante Miller, who might be surprise additions to this roster. Who is going to get cut? And there has been talk about my boy Tommy Cutlets. This hurts me. Like, we all know Tommy DeVito. He's hilarious. He's been so fun to watch, and he's good enough to be on an NFL roster. You watch the kid play, and it's like, this is not, like, he's not a starter, but, like, he's a guy, if your starter gets hurt, Tommy DeVito, you're comfortable with him taking over for a few games and doing a decent job getting the ball in his playmakers' hands. But he's not Russ and he's not Jameis, and obviously Jackson Dart is the future. There's been some talks, like Jameis I think is still good enough. He could be a starter somewhere. Maybe somebody's going to trade for him, and then the Giants can keep Tommy DeVito as their QB3. We'll see. But then there's also been a lot of talk about Daniel Bellinger, and he's a shocking one. Like, I think a lot of people expected Daniel Bellinger to maybe even start this year, but all of a sudden there's been a lot of smoke about him getting cut. And I mean, Theo Johnson has looked really impressive. That screen pass he took from Jackson Dart, like, he showed how athletic he is. That's something that Daniel Bellinger can't do. And then Greg Dulcich looked really good as well. One of my brother-in-law is a huge Broncos fan. He was raving about Dulcich all of last year. Thought he was a stud. Obviously, Giants chose to bring in Evan Ingram this year, but the dude can play. You saw him get the touchdown on the Jets. And then Manhertz is, like, generally your tight end 3. Like, Daniel Bellinger can do things Manhertz can't, but your tight end 3, you're generally only bringing him in like goal line run blocking packages, and Manhertz is, and the guy's name is Manhertz. He hurts men. Like, he's the guy you need coming in to block when you have those 3 tight end sets. So, like, if you look at current Giants 53-man roster projections, you're seeing no Tommy DeVito. You're seeing Dante Miller likely to make the roster. You're seeing Beaux Collins making the roster. And then you're seeing no Daniel Bellinger, which is surprising. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even mention Thomas Fedone. They drafted him in the 7th round this year. They don't have Dulcich making the roster. Personally, I think he will, and I think they'll carry 4 tight ends. But it sounds like Daniel Bellinger could be the odd man out there. But Giants fans, as always, I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these undrafted guys do you think could really break out and be a steal for the Giants? I think it's Beaux Collins, but could be Dante Miller, could be someone else. Give me your Giants thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. It does me a huge solid, and I have a ton more Giants content coming. You do not want to miss out.